It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck with Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson. And, of course, we welcome you to come by. Lots of folks out here. It's gotten busier in the past 15, 20 minutes. And so we encourage you to come on by and visit with us in person. Maybe you've got a question. Calvin? Okay, thank you. All right, so 210-308-8867 is our number, 210-308-8867. All right, so you want to do our theme? Should we start now, or you want to?
Well, I was.
There we go.
Hey, one must speak into
the
microphone.
Yes, that's what helps. Okay.
On the radio.
Yeah.
All right.
So
well, I was out looking because I was supposed to do that last night.
Oh, that's right.
Thinking about your colors.
Red, white, and blue plants.
Red, white, and blue plants. So
for the 4th of July.
4th of July. So, this is Friday, isn't it?
Friday, yes, it is.
Yeah. Wow, wonderful. Can't wait. It's a holiday.
Yeah, it is. Be nice.
Love holidays on weekdays.
Yeah. No. It makes it.
Well, here's the ones that that we have in the nursery.
Okay.
I'm ready to go. Red. There's some salvia.
Okay.
Vinca. Periwinkle, and Penta.
Okay.
White.
Calvin?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No.
Would you
Porterweed.
Oh, the red porterweed would be a good one too.
Yeah, it's a good one. I was looking at the big bold colors. So white was Vinca and Pentas.
Mm-hmm.
You see a pattern possibly?
So what's the annuals or no? Because the porterweed is not an annual.
No, but the Penta,
pollinators,
the Penta and Penta, or Penta for red and white.
Okay.
Core periwinkle.
Yes.
A fly was in my face.
Oh, okay.
But the periwinkle, red and white. We have it outside.
Oh, okay.
Here. Well, the blue is a little difficult.
Yeah, the blue is, well, what about, is porterweed blue or purple? It's purple.
Purple.
Yeah. So I'm looking down here at our Katie Ruellia.
Yeah.
And it's got that. And we have white Katie Ruellia.
Oh, okay.
So we may have to have a red in there. But I had Mexican petunia, plumbago. There's some blue salvias. And Angelonia. Which may solve my Cora and my Penta issues.
And there's white lantana.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. And actually, is there a dark red? We kind of touched on it yesterday. Dark red lantana.
The Dallas red.
Okay.
Or varieties thereof.
Usually, yeah, but the problem with the lantanas is it's got a mixed colors usually.
Oh, I know. Well, okay, so
except for the
one,
the purple, and the white.
Yeah, but there we go, purple and white. Oh, trim lantana. We need a red then.
So
we could do one of the reds. And Calvin is correct. It's never perfectly red. It's like red and orange, red and yellow.
One of my favorites that I'm seeing around town, besides the ones you mentioned, we have red crepe myrtles. We have white crepe myrtles. We do not have blue. That would be awesome. How do we get a blue crepe myrtle? What are we going to do?
We have to use a purple.
A purple? Okay.
Maybe a light purple.
And then keep...
Yeah.
Okay, but the red and the whites look great.
Of course, with the... let's see. Do you have a red and a white crepe myrtles that are relatively small, 4 feet? Then you could use the blue plumbago.
Yeah. There are some. There you go.
I like that idea. So you can make a patriotic garden.
It's kind of a light blue, but
there's some 18 inches tall, and there's some 3 to 4 feet. But I have to look.
I've seen the little, I guess, are they called dwarf crepe myrtles that are only about a couple feet tall?
Yeah. So they're
those
about
are mostly-
18 to 24, and then 3 to 4.
I don't know if I've seen white in those. I've seen red and pink. Do you know if they have a white, or is it just my
I
imagination?
do not know. I would have to look.
Okay, that's all right.
And they're a great. A&M has a great website for that.
Oh, okay. Crepe myrtles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. .com. What is the A&M site?
It's just Crepe Myrtles, TAMU.edu.
Oh, okay.
Like
Really?
that.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they always
look.
have to attach a TAMU somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
Let's see what it says. Anyway, all right.
Oops.
What happened? Oh man, the raccoons are going to like you.
Oh,
All right.
I spilled.
Yes, you did. Do you need any more?
No.
Okay. All right. 210. I don't see it.
No.
I'm not. I got. Anyway. All right. I've got home horta, and then crepe myrtle, the perfect landscape plant.
Not that one.
Texas A&M. Okay.
Yeah, that's just an article.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a website.
All right. 210-308-8867.
But this interesting combinations. I like that idea about small crepe myrtles with the plumbago. See, the plumbago is that light blue, but it's kind of too large for a nice formal arrangement. Too what did I say? Too nice? No, too large.
Which one?
The plumbago.
Oh, okay.
And it's not as disciplined as crepe
I know.
myrtle.
So what about this challenge? I think you've already named them, but the patriotic pollinators. So red, white, and blue pollinating plants.
Well, then I would go with a red porterweed and a blue porterweed.
Okay.
And then find something else.
It's purple.
You got blue mistflower, but
Blue Misflower.
There you
But
go.
it's-
Way to go, Calvin.
it's not striking. I mean, it's kind of the flowers are small.
It's a light blue.
But you got blue plumbago. Is that considered a? I know that butterflies like blue plumbago.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's. I think they they list it as a source in the butterfly attracting butterflies to Texas and those kind of things, or at the South. What I'm trying to think of my author.
The author.
Gaeta.
Yeah.
Gaeta.
Oh yeah.
The butterfly author that only Calvin can pronounce her name.
Well, and I've said this before, but the reason, if I am pronouncing it right, the reason is that I mispronounced it so often in presentations and had it corrected
Oh, really?
in front of an audience of 200.
Oh man, that could be embarrassing.
Yeah, but it really isn't, because gardeners kind of appreciate that. Some are, some are pretty stickly.
All right, so if you want to vote for your favorite patriotic plants, red, white, and blues, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Yes, sir.
Those the Ruellia look better and better for the blue there.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Why does
and
that
then we
seem
have the
purple
white.
to me?
And if you the vinca, the red vinca would probably
Yeah.
go with that.
Yeah, I said, well, that's what I would do. I would do the petunias, both white and the standard blue one, and then put some vinca in there to make it really be majestic.
Okay. Yeah. And the Ruellia will come back, so you just have to get the vincas each year, right? Yeah.
Or we could find a small salvia, but we'll have to think about that.
So, that white Salvia Gregii is very.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of feeding back on us a little.
Is attractive and pretty consistent. Let's see, but we don't have a blue salvia, do we?
Yeah. So it's an interesting color challenge, but an opportunity to try to figure out some plants that would do well in your yard.
You know,
Yeah.
that was what big topic with Jerry,
Which was?
well, the red, white, and blue
Oh, okay.
combination. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The
Yeah, I also
do we have white zinnias?
Yes.
Yes.
We have red zinnias.
Yes.
Yes.
We have blue zinnias.
No.
Oh,
They got
we
purple.
we have a light blue zinnia in our
Lavender.
yard.
Yeah.
Maybe it's lavender.
Yeah, we have lavenders.
Okay.
For sure.
And we have the Angelonia, sort of.
I wonder,
It's
do
a
you
mixed
have a blue,
purple.
Oh, that's
blue Angelonia?
That's an interesting idea.
Except
It just seems that there was some in my mind, but
the color, the foliage is more dominant than the blooms in
Yeah.
Angelonia.
and we have some on the table. That's why that one
Yeah.
crossed my mind.
Oh, where are they? Angeloni's a good choice, isn't it?
Yeah, right over here.
Yeah, on the other side of the periwinkle, the vinca.
Oh, okay. The smaller pots?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
You know, we used to talk about Angelonia
Yeah,
as
let's
the
talk-
summer snapdragon.
Yeah, let's talk about Angelonia.
And the
I remember Calvin.
deer don't eat it.
Well, you'd said, I think we're missing out here. I remember in one show that we're not really talking about Angelonia. So let's do it. So it's, is it the red ones over there?
No.
Oh, you said
They're
it's blue.
purple and white.
Purple and white. Oh, okay.
And a mixture.
Okay.
But the thing about them is that it's, like the flowers on a zinnia or on a petunia are pretty dominating. But in the Angelonia, the foliage gets about at least half the attention. And just like, now, they look like a snapdragon in their structure, but the snapdragon flowers are much more showy than the color at the top. We don't have blue snapdragons, do we?
No. How are your snapdragons doing? Are they still?
Oh, they're done for.
Yeah.
Oh, mine are still
They passed.
fighting.
Really?
No, mine.
Passed. Milton, it's too soon. They passed.
No. I'm sorry. And then probably my comment that mine are doing great doesn't help either, does it?
But hey, you know what? That reminds me of the person that played role that Milton is playing now with this show. When he and I started,
Oh, okay. Oh, Philip.
Philip his deal used to be that he had snapdragons that lingered into the summer.
I'll have to take a picture. When we got the big
I
rain.
wonder if that's a conspiracy of some kind. If you work with your station and all,
if you work for Salem, you kind of, you got
to have a snapdragon.
No, you just have more luck with snapdragons, maybe.
Oh.
But, when we got the 4-inch rain or the big rain, they came bounding back. I think now they're kind of had it. The blooms are spent, but we'll see.
Are they? I take it they're not overcome by other weeds and plants.
Nope. They're okay.
Yeah.
They're just in one little place in the bed.
Because most of the time by this time of the year, the rust is taking them out.
Oh, maybe I won't take a picture. I don't want you texting me back going, they're full of rust. Pull them out. They look nice. The pentas look nice. Oh, I was going to say Trace's advice on, and y'all have given similar advice of cutting the buds off the Vitex, cutting the seed pods, the big, so it'll bloom again, is working. We're getting a second bloom on our Vitex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So,
on your Vitex.
Yeah.
Okay.
You deadhead flowers,
Yeah.
and so you're basically deadheading the tree.
So the deadhead, I still have them in a bucket somewhere. Are those seeds?
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do with them? How do I get more Vitex?
Ooh. You don't want more Vitex.
Well, I don't know. I want more Vitex. I like Vitex.
Remember what
You're gonna be identified as an
instigator, a provocateur.
Yeah.
Of what?
Of exotic
invasion.
So right.
Remember us talking about
exotic plants.
Is vinca invasive?
Oh, Vinca or Vitex?
Vitex, I meant.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, this is
having no trouble today.
Well, I'm really asking for a friend.
Yes,
This has nothing to do with me.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, just for grins.
Oh, we
with
know
my
that
friend.
isn't true because we know you don't have any friends.
No, it's true. I don't have any friends at all. Thank you, Calvin, for bringing that up. It doesn't hurt at all. Why don't y'all talk for a second while I... but let's say my friend that I don't have wanted to kind of plant this. Are the seeds evident? Or do I just plant a cutting?
You mean are the seeds viable?
The Vitex. Well, when I cut them, I put them in a bucket, and I never threw them in the compost.
If they are as invasive as people say, then yes,
okay.
the seeds are viable.
Okay, I'll try.
Because there are no elves, dwarves, or fairies in the woods doing cuttings.
You don't know that for true.
I don't know that.
You can't prove that.
No, but there's very few reseeded Vitex too.
Oh, you think really?
Marcus said, there's.
So where do they come up from if they're so invasive? The roots, or
well, no, they come up with the seed, but it's got to be ideal situation. I think Mark described it as stream beds.
Yeah. Well, they're very tolerant, but definitely further east of here. I would say east of 35, maybe even east of 45. But that's where they're in those types of situations they can become more invasive. Same thing with our Chinese pistache. Once you get east or once you get west of San Antonio,
I wish you wouldn't bring that up. My neighbors will remember that they've complained about that.
Yeah. Hey, are your neighbors are growing the tatumas?
Yes.
You're not?
No.
Okay. Ask your neighbors if they root into the ground.
Okay.
That was yesterday's question.
That was yesterday's question, because mine are. They're running, and then the runners are rooting, which is weird. But I thought, okay, maybe the neighbors have...
I never remembered them doing that.
I don't
Okay, well, ask your neighbors.
Doesn't trust us.
No, I'm just saying maybe it's a new thing that they're doing now.
That's okay.
When you get...
It's been that way before. The experts are ignored.
I'm telling you what I saw. Yeah. Now, why are you doubting what I saw?
Oh, I think you remind me of the... maybe you remember a few weeks ago we had a gardener that came up and said we had two colors growing.
Oh.
And I don't even remember the plant, but, and I suggested that it was not uncommon to have two plants, different colors. And ooh, wow. He implied that I was accusing him of not knowing anything about gardening. But a lot of times, when in aggressive wholesale nurseries, doesn't even have to be real aggressive. They'll sometimes have some different color seeds. They'll get mixed.
Different seeds or different shoots.
I prefer to think that my knockout has both red and pink on it. Not that there are two plants that I planted in one time.
But there are some.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, no, but I mean, there are. I can't. I was just thinking today, I noticed in my mutabilis rows that the different color blooms are pretty obvious there. But that is not in there, not any controversy, because everybody expects those.
Yeah, that's inherent in that rose. Yeah.
But how would aggressive nurseries be responsible for plants that are rooting into the ground? Since apparently I have my own eyes are deceiving me.
No, they're rooting into the ground.
Yeah. Well, y'all said I didn't trust you when you said they don't do that.
No, he's talking about the.
No, he's talking about
Calabacita.
the Tatuma. What did I say?
Tatuma. No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
I just had to come back and remind after several minutes of conversation what the original question
actually was a joke.
No, mine are. I'm telling you, mine are rooting into the ground. It's weird. Anyway, all right. If you have a similar experience, call and defend me. 210-842-5877. What are they called otherwise? Tatuma squash. Yeah,
but with Tatuma squash, that's. I wouldn't go too far there, because they are so aggressive, and so they adjust to whatever the conditions are. So I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they do if they're good soil.
Yeah, these are. I love plants that make me look like I know what I'm doing, Tatuma squash makes me look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I didn't do much, and they just keep growing and growing.
Well,
and
you
growing.
did a good job with your wildflowers.
Yeah, the meadow. Those
Yeah.
were easy. That was pretty easy, too, yeah. All right, I'm being told it's break time. 210-308-8867. We'll take a break, come back in a moment with more of Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Hey, go to Pruski'sMeatMarket.com, and the very first thing that pops up is a big old counter. It's a butcher counter full of delicious steaks, and you will instantly go, All right, well, you don't have to just go, You can actually do two things. One, you can order online, have it delivered to your house if you want to. Have it delivered as a gift. You know how you got that uncle that lives up in Chicago that loves Polish sausage? Well, I bet he hasn't had anything as good as Pruski's Polish sausage. You know what? Have it shipped to him. Or just go yourself and head up Highway 87 between 1604 and 410, and you can get some for yourself, whether it's delicious natural beef or whether it's great poultry or sausage. Maybe it's potato sausage that you want to send. Where would you send potato sausage to?
Well, where I would send it?
Yeah.
It was my birthday on Friday. I would have sent it.
Happy birthday.
Expected it to be here on Saturday or so, but nothing showed up.
Oh, happy birthday. I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah. I debated whether another birthday was welcome or not, but then, of course, I thought about the alternative, and that another birthday was
Yes,
okay.
I guess there you go.
Yeah.
Well, if you've got a birthday for somebody coming up that likes potato sausage or any kind of sausage.
Oh, and those platters.
Yeah, the platters
all
would be
those
fun
cheeses
too. Yep.
and sausages. Oh, they're wonderful.
It's
They're
go to Pruski'sMeatMarket.com and you'll learn all about it. Pruski'sMeatMarket.com, and you'll learn all the stuff that you can get and all the stuff that you can send out. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Happy birthday, Calvin. We didn't know.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So if you want to call Calvin and wish him a happy birthday, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. All right. What else, gentlemen? Or do you want me to pick some topics and go? What you got? No?
Well, let's see. We got so many plants here that
Yeah.
they just brought in some more zinnias, more of the reddish.
Mm-hmm. I have a zinnia question when you're ready.
And let's see. I was going through my plants this morning and pulling out the what is related to the moss roses?
Portulaca, purslane.
Purslane. The wild purslane gets in all of my containers.
Ah, okay.
And I knew it was time to go through there and thin it out because the birds were going wild. They like I guess they use that foliage as water and food source.
Well, it is very popular. I did a video yesterday that will drop on the 4th.
Okay.
And the tagline was, well, you're going to be seeing a lot of fireworks, a lot of color in the sky. How about some color in the landscape?
Oh, yeah.
And so I was pulling different bright, shiny reds and yellows and oranges to do this video. Mm-hmm. And I learned about that purslane and moss rose are both in the Portulaca family.
Okay.
So I never knew that.
Well,
I thought they were separate. I thought Portulaca was a separate plant.
And was a Bart or a Bert? I mean, it was telling us that one of our gardeners that it's edible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks very tasty and lush.
And that's the thing. I think the birds do that, or other animals eat it to gain moisture and nutrition. I understand it's very nutritious as well.
Yeah.
Lots of vitamins.
Of course, and it's
vitamins, as the British would say.
It's very aggressive.
For all our British
it kind of can overwhelm your moss rose containers and grows in the penta It's not. It's tolerant of shade. The wild one is. The weed one is, and so you do have to kind of keep it under control. Unless you, it's kind of an attractive plant, so you could leave it, I guess. But that's there. Oh, and the other thing that with this weather, the way it is, if you got bird bass, especially if you got any kind of recirculating structure, you're going to have birds, and you might even have more than birds. You will.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, you'll have raccoons and possums and with squirrels. Lots of wildlife.
I need someone that understands dog psychology.
Oh, gosh.
So, this is what happens. You mentioned the water. So we have water for the cats, a big bowl of water for the ferals outside. So our dog has food and a water bowl. She will not touch her water bowl, but when she gets outside where the ferals are and that big bowl of water is, she drinks that water like she's never had water before. And it's like, well, why didn't you got it in the house? Why didn't you drink it? Yours do the same thing? You're shaking your head.
Well, yeah, it's pretty similar. My Tilly feels that she has priority, and that she is my favorite. So whenever she almost measures, like when I give the dog food out and everything.
Oh,
now they don't.
I see her sniffing the dog food.
Yeah,
looking with her eyes and going.
They're not aggressive in terms of running to quick eat it or anything.
Yeah.
But they kind of watch each other.
Oh.
Is that fair? Did that Darcy get more food than I got? And so it's just, it makes you giggle to watch the two and the dynamics there.
So,
but I think dogs are consistent.
And apparently, I hope I'm not saying anything horrible. Apparently, dogs like cat food. So with the ferals, or when we feed the cats, the dog is now learned that we'll give her a little bit, so she watches us, and then she runs to her bowl and she just sits there, and she's looking at us, waiting for me to give. I mean, it's the smallest amount. It's probably 4 morsels, but she is so happy. So anyway, yeah.
Well, that's and then there was an article I read about him. I don't know where it was, about dogs and what to expect from these various varieties.
Okay.
And one of them was not only eat cat food, they'll eat cat poop.
They love cat poop.
Apparently I have less problem with them eating deer poop than
cat poop.
That would really bother me on the cat food.
This is not good gardening talk, but we'll have to wrap it up in a second. But yes, I have heard cat poop described as doggy crack. That they just love it so much.
High protein, man.
Yeah. Oh, I guess so. All right. So we'll focus on gardening. 210-308-8867. 210-308.
Tropical milkweed.
Oh, good. Oh, they got 2 of them, huh? She's got one and he's got one.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about the old milkweed, and should you do it now, or with the if people are reading that I shouldn't do it now?
Well, you can't go wrong with the tropical milkweed. It'll be take the sun, and it's got attractive flowers. And now we don't have much action from the monarchs,
right?
But the queens are going well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I suspect a lot of gardeners have a little trouble differentiating between the queens and the monarchs. The monarchs, both of them have orange wings. The monarchs are usually a little larger, but the pattern on the monarchs is a lot more closed bars around the edges, whereas the queens has got a lot more kind of a speckling black, or some kind, that kind of a diluted, and you don't have those definitive borders. And then I was trying to one of them, the queens are a little more up and down, moving, and the monarchs kind of slow, or kind of enjoying the the scenery and everything. But the queens get pretty tame though too. If you've got
really?
Oh yeah, like if you got the mist flower bed like Mark was talking about, queens get to kind of ignore like at the Mitchell Lake, they kind of ignore the gardeners around there and say, the most important thing here is this mist flowers, this nectar from the mist flowers. Who cares if there's a bunch of gardeners taking pictures?
Oh, okay.
But that's what's going on. And then, of course, the fritillaries are...
Oh, wow.
Because our passion vines are blooming up a storm. Both the exotics and... I haven't noticed if the one here at the Certified Butterfly Garden...
I was just thinking about that.
Is that blooming?
I didn't check,
Oh.
but I said, well, maybe check at the top of the hour.
Okay, we have another break coming up if you want to check then, too.
I've got the native, the pawpaw kind of thing.
Oh, really?
And just getting more and more in my landscape, but they're blooming up a storm. And then there's two versions. One of the versions, both of them have a round, strange-looking structure of fruit, and one of them is, I think, the one that has a more exotic influence. Has got a red fruit, and then the other one, I think, is kind of a green fruit.
Yeah, but yeah, purple and red flowers too. So. It's hard to tell between the natives and the non-natives, but
well, with those.
But I think it's good all around. I don't find them very invasive. So I just like the butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And all of those butterflies like tropical milkweed for nectar. That's they almost get in a line. If the monarchs are there, the monarchs, of course, seem to get to be front of the line. But otherwise, all of them go after it, and the queens are very thick right now. But the black swallowtails will even go there, and of course the fritillaries. And then all those other the bordered every kind of I don't know how many. I guess we should count how many species we got basically in this in our area. 22 maybe. And if you sit and of course you don't want to sit in the sun and watch, but if you sit and watch the blooms of your you've got a patch of a mist flower or a patch of tropical milkweed, you'll be able to count the number of species in there. It's like the bird species on bird baths.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the water is so attractive, so necessary, and brings them in, and they get pretty bold and are splashing and drinking and competing. And, of course, every once in a while the Cooper's hawk comes through and disrupts the process, but they're back.
I got to figure out, so we got a little hanging bird bath, and we've hung it in a tree away from the cats, but I can't get any action at it. So, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. But
you're hanging it from a branch. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
It's down. The branch is up real high.
Yeah,
and it's probably
maybe it's not low enough.
Oh, how low does it need to be?
Well, not too low. Well, think of a regular bird bath.
It's probably 8 feet high. Is that too high?
Yeah. Well,
8 feet off the ground.
I've got on the rail of my patio a porch.
Uh-huh.
That's probably 8 feet from the ground, but it's much
open,
solid and larger. Yeah, open.
See, that's the other thing I was going to say is how open it is. Do you have a branch or any kind of foliage within 8 to 10 feet?
Oh, Yeah.
And I was going to say something about...
we got a branch. It's hanging on the branch.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking maybe that branch is in the way of
I was going to say something about maybe the birds are afraid of potential for the cats.
Maybe so.
But
on the branch, yeah.
But I've got all those bird feeders, including suet pads, hanging on branches, and even hummingbird feeders, and they don't seem to hesitate to go to them. So maybe I think if you had another regular bird bath close to
maybe so. Okay.
you would get a more action on the hanging one too.
Okay. I'll have to try.
Yeah.
All right, we need to take a break, though, real quick. 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 on Boulevardy Road. Come by and say hello, visit with us, and ask your gardening question. You can just come by and say hello. All right, back in a moment on 9:30 a.m., The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867. You mentioned zinnias. So you know the little patch I have? I have that real tall one that's now in the middle is turning brown. Does that mean it's going to seed? Or
Yeah.
Okay. Do I do anything?
Well, you get a lot of choices. You can let it completely go brown, and then that means that the majority of the seed will be fertile, or you can just let it partially go brown, and then you'll have a small amount of seed be fertile, and you can that way you can deadhead it a little sooner.
Oh, okay.
If you want, because if you deadhead it, stimulates new blooms.
Oh, okay.
And and otherwise you sit and wait for wait for it to be brown, and then it'll eventually drop its seed.
Okay.
And they'll be up like that group that you had around the mailbox.
Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. No, it's part of that group.
Yeah,
So
you can actually just pull them off.
okay, and then put them in a bag or shake them up in a bag.
Well, or spread them where you want them to come up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun. Alrighty. All right, I'm going to do that.
I hesitate to put stuff in bags because they stay in bags.
Oh,
unless you're.
That's more the. Yeah, I can see that. More of the problem with the gardener than the plant.
Yeah. But and then some kind of plant species too. Like our.
No.
It'd be easy to forget our blue curl because it's basically a wildflower, and we should plant it in August or September.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. But you can plant it now. It's pretty. It's amazing how many of those seeds will actually germinate.
Hey, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Let's talk a little bit about watering if we can. So someone I heard talking and saying that you don't want to water your plants every day because you want to train the roots to go deeper.
Yeah,
is that accurate?
No.
No? Okay.
However, they are correct. You don't want to water them every day because the roots do not expand. You're not training roots. Yeah.
No,
I just got to get around on this one. I hear a lot of times, even landscapers, I'm watering deep to force the roots down. No, there are no little lights or watering.
Yeah, and how much soil do you have? 2 inches.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that's another issue too. That the shallower the soil, the smaller the root area or the available water space, the more frequent you're going to have to water.
Okay.
And in containers, there's some, like if you've got our Phoenix phlox here, and you've got it in a relatively small container, or firebush, and gets those huge lot of leaves and foliage and blooms. Now some of those will take water every day to keep maintaining that. So that's not unusual.
Right.
Or even that's what we talk about after a rain. Don't forget that your containers only have a limited reservoir.
Yeah,
A limited amount of the water makes it into the container.
Right.
And then the limited reservoir. So you do quite often
have to water
a couple days after the rain or right after the rain.
But so you're not training them.
You're not training them.
You're not
Don't
training
use that
the
word.
roots. Yeah, okay.
But the roots grow. They're opportunistic. They'll grow anywhere where they have the proper genetics to train them. I mean, the genetics will force them to grow in a certain way.
Yeah.
All right.
You have the resources, the carbohydrates,
Oh.
and then you have low bulk density or low compaction. Lots of oxygen, in other words.
Oh.
The key to growing roots is oxygen.
So does that mean the key to growing roots is aeration, or it's
There you go.
That's part of it.
okay?
But
The growth, but I always differentiate between growth and survivability. They will
Okay.
have to have moisture.
like turf grass,
Right.
you can if you have. It's also related to the length of the top or the
The roots are
dense.
depth of
Yeah,
roots.
they've got if you don't have any greenery up on top, you're not going to have. It doesn't matter if you have great soil, you're not going to have huge long root system.
But we kind of discussed that before. Where should I let the lawn grow longer than I think, so that I would get longer roots, or should I just keep mowing it every week to keep up with the weeds?
That's a decision you have to make. But I would not like. Most people don't like a lawn that's full of weeds.
Yeah, I don't know, but if I have just lots of St. Augustine, let's say, but it's like 4 inches tall, 5 inches, 6 inches tall, is that advantageous or no? No, because it's when I do finally mow it, I'm going to be
You'll have
the brown.
Right.
Okay.
And Trace makes a point of that. I go a little shorter than what was probably recommended at this time, but I just keep it at the same level all the way through.
Okay.
I like
And so,
3.5 inch.
Yeah.
And then
And I like 2.5.
Okay. I need to. It's only been about a week, and I need to mow it again.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, you find the same thing.
Remember?
Well, that's generally the
Every-
once per week is the generally more.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 210-308. I thought they had a question.
Oh, I thought they knew me, so that's why I thought they were looking. They look vaguely
Do
familiar.
you know Mark? Let's see if they hear us. Oh, I don't know if they can hear us. All right, 210-308-8867. Yes, sir.
I lost all train of thought.
Lawns and
Lawns.
Yeah, lawns.
So the more you mow,
Mm-hmm.
the less the weeds are going to be.
Right.
They cannot survive consistent mowing.
Right.
So once a week has always been our rule of thumb. But you know what? Sometimes the rule of thumb must be changed, and so sometimes we have to mow twice a week.
And sometimes we don't have to mow every week if we let our zoysia or Bermuda grass go dormant.
Oh,
August.
because the heat. Oh, August.
Yeah, because of lack of water. Now you don't dare let the St. Augustine go more than 3 weeks, probably.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what we found out in the study.
Yeah.
That 21 days was the maximum amount, because the St. Augustine will continue to grow and be green, and then it falls off a cliff.
Oh, in August, you said.
Yeah. Whereas Bermuda, and to a certain extent, the zoysia understand, and they go, we're going dormant. St. Augustine is not
We're
smart.
going to take a break.
Oh, okay.
We'll do a little snooze in here for a few weeks.
And it just stops growing, but it stays green,
Yeah.
or
No, it doesn't say green.
No,
it's going to go brown.
So
Oh.
that's why we always like to say, brown is what can brown do for you?
I liked your other expression too. You know, that the one for public service announcements where they tell you things. You know, the more you mow.
The less you know.
No, yeah, something like that. The more you know. All right.
Yeah.
210.
The more you mow, the more you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more it grows,
Yeah,
the
well,
more you mow, the better it grows.
When you had to write 2 articles every week for the SAWS electronic newsletter, sometimes you got kind of creative with the titles.
Oh, okay. Was that
some grass species too, like Bermuda grass, the more you mow and the lower you mow, it can get real dense. It responds to that kind of mowing intensity, and just differently than the San Augustine.
As I said, be consistent, but some grasses may have to be mowed even lower. Although, like I mentioned, the professor in charge of the study from A&M, he didn't have time to mow at different heights. Or each of the grass that we were testing for. And so he just mowed everything at 2 inches.
Oh, that's right. I remember you talked about that. Okay.
And they all did really well. They all did fine.
Any other tips during the San Antonio summer that you can do to keep the lawn looking good?
Water is the key, and your timing on your pesticide, your herbicides, and also timing on your fertilizer.
All right. Is there a summer?
I was going to go even further. Correct grass.
Okay.
For the correct site.
That is first. Probably the big one nowadays.
Yeah.
The shade.
Yeah.
It's got to be consistent with the amount of sun that's available. But if you have droughts, and you get half as much rain as you expect, then it probably doesn't matter what there's sun or shade, because it's got to have water.
Hey, Milton, you know what the perfect grass then is if we're talking about these situations? We have it here at Milberger's.
What is it, Mark?
That would be the what? Pro Vista.
Pro Vista, yep.
So it's drought tolerant, shade tolerant, and what's the other one that Milton? That Trace always tells me.
Roundup.
Roundup. But there's also one other
glyphosate.
Yeah,
tolerant.
But there's also one other aspect that pest.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's pest resistant.
Now Trace won't like this, but the saws will. That the turf grass is a constant challenge here in San Antonio. The best solution is not always another turf grass. The best solution may be ground covers and mulches and lots of other choices. All these perennial flowers that we're looking at, thickets. Wildlife thickets, and so we got lots of options. Doesn't have to be a golf course like lawn. Now some homeowners associations wouldn't like that either, I guess.
No, you're right.
But ours are pretty tolerant.
Yeah, but we have fairly good HOAs, but we also have ordinances and state laws as well.
Well, that was like the woman that called a while back who had started off with Bermuda, which it looked great, she said, when they bought the home, and the HOA says you have to have Bermuda, and then the trees got big and the Bermuda got unhappy. But they wouldn't let her put in something that was more shade tolerant.
Well, they wouldn't.
I have various names for the HOAs. Which we will not go into today.
Okay.
But our HOAs are nothing. When I was in charge of the extension service in Austin, yeah, I
forgot that he went up north.
The homeowner associations were a little tougher to deal with there.
Oh.
And then, of course, those in Dallas and Houston, some of the suburbs were very difficult.
Oh, really?
I heard, anyway. But, that's one of the things I keep mentioning is that here in San Antonio, we've got a pretty good combination of citizens and gardeners and industry that's involved in landscape. And when all those groups cooperate, you can really accomplish quite a bit and be very efficient with water and have pretty exciting gardening options too.
Nope, that's one of the reasons I think we have been so successful is when y'all started building this out, you had everyone's input, so everyone had a stake in it and felt like there was some ownership of the thing. Not that it was just being put upon them, but they were building it.
Yeah, and when the citizens and gardeners have input, and you come to these joint conclusions that seem to address the water needs and the freedom needs, then it's hard for citizens not to comply.
All right, we'll be right back on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson. We're broadcasting live. I'm Milton Glueck, and we're right here at Milberger's at 1604 on Bulverde Road, the beautiful Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery. And we encourage you to come on out and start making your garden look absolutely wonderful. Mark asked me about what was on sale while he's looking at some stuff. I will tell you what's on sale. Vinca, you mentioned those earlier, are on sale in the 4-inch pot. That's the Cora series. 6 for $10. Caladium strap leaf varieties. They're awfully pretty. And the number one pots are $6.88. Okay, let's see. We have Star Jasmine, which is normally sells for $28.88. Is 2 for $50.
That's basically the jessamine with a
is it jessamine
white flower.
rather than jasmine?
No, but with the white flower instead of the yellow flower, and another fragrant, good leaning vine that very attractive and a great addition to the landscape.
Mexican heather. Now, is Mexican heather a good summer plant?
Good summer.
Okay. So doesn't mind the summer?
Yeah, we often find the butterflies
good.
and bees on it. I think there are a lot of honeybees.
Oh, bees love it. Yeah.
How about keeping it over the winter? Does it come back?
Yes, except if it's a winter like 21 or 22 winters. So it has to be a fairly mild winter. They are more Mexican, Central American type things. They will come back, but not in a hard winter.
So
Okay.
it's not something.
It's not consistently perennial. How about that?
I know I didn't in years past. I used to. It's a very attractive plant, and I used to grow it, but I don't remember it ever coming back.
At the Botanical Center, when my office was out there, we kind of figured on 2 to 3 years, and then you'd have to get a new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Citrus is on sale, 25% off, and that includes varieties like Myers Improved Lemon, Mexican Lime, and more is 25% off, starting at $59.99. Foxtail Fern. People love Foxtail Fern.
As long as you're...
Yeah.
Well, what is our favorite grapefruit, Mark? Do you remember?
Oh, what was it?
Blooming season blooming.
Blooming Sweet.
Yeah, Bloom Sweet.
Bloom Sweet.
Yeah.
That's a great one. It's got seeds, but it's really tasty and relatively cold tolerant. Mine lasted for quite a few years. And then the other one, what is that? The tangerine too. That
Well,
makes.
Changsha is the cold one. They can grow Changsha all the way up to the Metroplex.
Yeah,
But it's very seedy.
but tasty.
But tasty. Mr. Moy was developing a cross between Changsha and Satsuma. So, cold tolerance plus taste.
Oh, okay.
And seedless. So,
And I think some, and including me, some of the folks that grow Changsha, actually the plants survived through those freezes, even when the Bloom Sweet didn't.
I consider it the most cold tolerant citrus we have.
Oh, okay. The Changsha?
Changsha tangerine.
Do we have any Satsumas listed there, Mark?
Well, it's all. What we've got, all of them are 25% off.
Wow.
I saw a.
Come by, get it.
I don't know what they're called. They may just be called dwarf. Is there a dwarf Meyer lemon?
There's some new selections there that we haven't. I think we talked to Trace about that a number of weeks ago, and he said we'll have to kind of test to see how they perform. But
is that the one on the dragon?
Yeah,
stock, dragon root stock,
which will be in normal diminutive size.
Okay,
because of that.
That sounds like go ahead.
I think I'm calling the Myers lemon the improved.
Oh.
Because the technical name for Myers lemon is improved Myers lemon.
Right. So this is an improved version of the improved version. But yeah, the picture that they showed was in a nice container. It was probably from the container top was maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall and was full of lemons. Now I don't know whether that's everybody's result or not, but it seemed like a great patio lemon. What?
Well, even
results may vary.
Results may vary.
Yeah, even our Meyer lemon and Mexican lime make a great patio. Fruit. If you grow them in a whiskey barrel size, they have a lot of fruit and they don't get very large. They get maybe 4 feet tall. Is about the lemon, and they're very they're attractive, fragrant flowers and attractive flowers, and lots of fruit.
Mm-hmm.
The limitation, of course, is freeze protection.
Oh, okay.
You just got to be prepared to be to cover them. A lot of gardeners have figured out that they leave them in their container like that, and they have it some kind of a structure that they can move it into
some kind of rollers or roller skates or
and
something.
If you have a greenhouse,
or
even if you have a garage that you just put them. The only time you put them in there is when the temperatures are below freezing. So that's an option. But gosh, they're wonderful plants.
Let's see. Okay, so foxtail ferns, which I know are real popular when they go on sale, and you see them around town. They're on sale in the number one pot for $7.88. Mark had asked if you're just tuning in. Oh, here's a good one too. What was on sale? Bulbine, low maintenance succulent perennial with orange star shaped flowers, known for attracting bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. In the number one pot, now 50% off of the $9.99 price.
And the deer don't eat it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think we had some stories about deer eating the flowers, but not the plant.
Okay. And where do we still have?
They're all there. Over there
the yellow
to the
ones.
right of your AM dial.
Here's one that y'all talk about occasionally in the number 3 pot. Let's see if you can guess it. Elegant, fast-growing evergreen privacy shrub, favored by many for its suitability as a clipped hedge.
Oh. Well,
I was going to say initially I was going to go Xylosma.
Bing! You got it.
I did it. I got it. Wow.
You got it. Yeah, $28.88. Number 3 pot.
Well, what were you thinking of?
I was thinking of our Texas sage or
the
boxwood.
Acinisa?
I was hoping it wasn't boxwood.
Yeah, I was going to say. Initially, if you talked to us 20 years ago,
wow,
we would have gone, it's boxwood. But that wouldn't have been our first choice. But Xylosma I would prefer over boxwood.
Okay.
I have trouble. Yeah, it's boxwood to me is so unpredictable. But there's a lot of gardeners have had success with it and find it real attractive. So, if you're in that situation, we can't really argue with it. Xylosma's didn't fare well in the worst freezes, but it really does well in terms of growth.
I was surprised. I thought it would freeze right down to the ground. It froze. And a lot of them froze all the way down to the ground, but they came back.
Yeah.
So a lot of them froze halfway or maybe 2/3, and then they still had they were sprouting out from about 3 or 4 feet from the base. So
And as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong on this, that they're not a favorite of the deer. Is that?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, let's go to the phone lines real quick, and then I'll get back to some more sale items. All the way from Michigan, he's got something he wants to say to Calvin at 210-308-8867. What's going on, Bert? How are you?
Thanks. Good. It's warm here, just like in Texas. A few degrees lower, but it's warm and muggy.
Oh.
So I was.
Oh.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. Oh, and I've got some sad news,
yeah.
Bert, on that end. I'll tell you in a second. Go ahead.
I'm losing weight here. No sweat. Well, Calvin.
Well, yeah. If you're in Michigan, you maybe don't have as much air conditioning to use as we do.
No. We got it. We're all wimps now.
Yeah. What were you saying, Bert? Something to Calvin, I think.
Yeah. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You made it again.
Yeah, I did.
That's a good way to look at it. I like that.
Yeah, the alternative is not a desirable option, I guess.
No. Yesterday, I listened to the show, and I heard you mention something about the tomato seeds, but it was so noisy here. Our neighbor with a big tractor and a 12-foot wide mower was mowing the field in front of the house.
I was bragging on you a little bit. I said that I'd followed your method, and I was trying to tell you where I was in the process. So I got the seed. I got the tomato. Cut it from 9 to 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Scooped out the seeds. Yeah, I wasn't too picky about it. Got tomato in it too, but
if you cut it that way, then you open all the segments. If you cut north to south, then it's only 2 or so, and then the rest you still have to open it up.
Okay.
Now, Bert, he's great on learning the procedure. Just tell him he knows it. Now go ahead and do it.
Well, I did it. So I got the water, and it sat for 3 days, and then I dumped it. I had a strainer. I dumped the water and put the seeds back in with a little bit of tomato. And it's interesting. The water went from red to pink, which I'm hoping is a good thing. And I put everything back in. I'm letting it soak another 3 days, and then I guess probably tomorrow I'll do it one more time. You think?
Yeah. It doesn't. I don't think it really matters, but if you rinse it once or twice,
that's certainly. Should he plant it before Christmas time, or should he keep fermenting?
No. So should I plant it?
Ferment it for a week. No.
Hey, Bert. Actually, we're going to follow your advice here because now should I plant it? Like just take it out. You said to make sure the seeds sank to the bottom of the water. Those were the viable ones. And then should I just take those and plant them if I'm ready?
Yes.
Or do I need to dry them?
Well, I guess you can experiment with it. Plant a few and see what happens.
Okay.
It's warm enough.
I like that idea.
And then they may ripen. If you take 5 or 10 seeds, whatever you have, and the rest let it dry and put it in an envelope.
Now, remember, Bert, that we're talking about our planting period is, if you're conservative and Mark, you plant August 1st. If you're the typical recommendation now is the middle of July or
for planting
third week in July. Yeah,
for seeds?
No.
For plants.
Transplants. So you want to get your seeds
in
planted right away.
Now. Okay.
Right away. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're trying to beat the cold. We're trying to beat the Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do them in peat pots. How deep do I put the seeds?
Half an inch or something.
Half an inch? Okay, that's what Calvin was showing.
Yeah, what does Mother Nature do?
I have a tendency to put them on the top and just press them.
Oh, just kind of press them into the... Okay, I can try that with a couple of them. I got those little peat pots. Should I baby the peat pots a little bit and keep them moist and kind of cover them like a little terrarium thing, or no?
No, I don't.
I don't want to put them out in the sun. I know, right?
No, you don't. You can you could do morning sun, but you don't have to. You want them to. They should germinate relatively quickly, and then
the seeds don't need light to germinate. The tomato seeds. Other like the reseeding lettuce, Crawford, they say that needs light, sunlight,
right.
Especially the red in the sunlight. But the tomatoes don't.
Okay. So I can do that in little peat pots. Mark, you were looking at me kind of funny. Am I trying too hard?
No. I always have a rule for Milton. What is that rule?
Be patient?
No. Well, that's one. Yeah.
Water.
No.
Water.
Keep them moist.
3, 2, 1.
Keep them moist.
I'll keep them
not
moist.
Wet.
So
not
I get
wet.
a little spray bottle. Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Yeah. Keep moist, not wet.
Okay. Would that be good, like a little spray bottle?
I always
okay. Mark says sure.
I'm amazed when I watch those demonstrations on. Here this person is in this huge greenhouse with all these plants, and they got this little spray can. They're going. I said, "Wow, that's got a long process there."
Only for germination.
Yeah. Okay.
Germination purposes.
Determination of germination.
Well, and the thing about tomatoes, once they've started growing, make sure they got the soil and the nutrition, and they'll grow like mad.
But I probably should start them smaller than the bigger, like if I had the 4.5-inch pot, start them in there rather than a number one.
Well, if you got those transplantable,
the little peat pots. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they work fine.
This is exciting.
But
okay, Bert.
If you use,
I'm going to experiment.
For light, you can water from the bottom. Then you put the whole thing in a saucer with water, and it sucks it up from the bottom. You don't have to worry so much about spraying.
Okay, I can do that.
That'd be kind of light.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear. Okay. We got to take a break in a second, Bert. I have some sad news. I'm going to keep you updated on my tomato story, okay? Got some sad news.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all heard this or not. Bert was talking about how hot it was up in there in Michigan and stuff. I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but the man that invented the heat index, he died.
Yeah.
He died on Friday. He was 81, but he felt like he was 105.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was thinking.
Slow golf clap.
If I would be Mark, I'd probably be a little sensitive about that, because Mark's history was with the rain determination and watering needs through when he was with the Forest Service, and then when he was SAWS, he did all that same kind of research.
Dangerous job.
How old are you, Mark?
See, he's doing it again.
What?
He's alluding to the fact that I'm in past tense.
Oh,
everything.
Again,
every
everything's
joke,
in past tense.
every morning. Where's Mark? Well, he's late. Well, he passed away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you, Bert. I thought you might like the little joke, but okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's serious here.
We're friends. Behave that way.
There you go.
Okay.
Thanks, Bert. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye,
I'll tell you how it's going.
Stay cool, Bert.
I may try to do it. I may try to plant them tomorrow or Monday. Tomorrow or Tuesday. Okay.
Sure.
210-308-8867. James, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to you in just a second. Right after this on Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. While Mark answers a question off the air, let's go to what's that? Did you want to come? James got on.
It was. I'm trying to remember what the name of that plant was. It's one that looks.
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, it'll come to you in a second. James is on the line at 210-308-8867. What's going on, James? Welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas.
Oh, thank you. Hey,
Sure.
Milton, I heard you just in passing by, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, about, because I'm new to growing Vitex, is deadheading them. So I did deadhead mine after the blooms, the first flush of blooms, and now it is just looks great again. It's
Did you hear me at the beginning of the show talk about that? Because I did the same thing, and it's like, whoa, wow, this is great.
I heard you last week or a week or two ago, and I did it.
Yeah.
On your advice, and
Thank you.
it worked.
I was
out
really
real
just
good.
parroting Trace. But yes, it is working. Isn't that cool?
Yes, it is. Oh, so on a follow-up to that, do you do it again? Continually?
I don't know. How many times can you cut off the...
Well, I'm not sure. You can. I know some folks really severely cut it back, but I would experiment with it. Enjoy the bloom as long as it's looking good. Leave it, of course, and then look at when the blooms start declining. Look at the calendar and determine if it's worthwhile. If you've got, if it's September, heck, you've got September and October left, and if the November weather cooperates, it could bloom right up until Thanksgiving.
Huh.
Okay, well, that'll be nice.
We're going to do it again, James? Are you going to do it again? I am.
I am. I got nothing to lose here except the Vitex.
Yeah, you certainly won't kill the Vitex.
Okay.
It'll digest whatever you give it and do the best it can, and then move on.
Okay. Second question, I just cleaned up my viola that I planted over the winter. Finally gave up the ghost. One of them was just hanging on in the container. So I cleaned all that out yesterday, the container, and it had some of that spurge in there. I hate that stuff. Cleaned all that out. So I'm going to mix some compost, rejuvenate the container. I need some recommendations, and I actually went out or went inside and got me a pad and paper because I can never remember. I need some recommendations. A patio container, it's going to get dappled sun all day until the afternoon. It's going to get blazing hot sun. So what would y'all recommend, if anything?
I think I would experiment with our pentas.
Pentas.
Yeah, they have responded to those kind of conditions. I've got some that are almost in the same situation where they get some morning sun, a long period of morning sun, and then they go into the shade. Then on the other side of the house, they get that blast of 2 hours, 3 hours of afternoon sun, and then they're in the shade again. And boy, they do a great job of blooming in that and responding to that. It's worth the experiment for sure if you can.
Okay, well,
the red and the white are my favorite.
Red and white. Red and white. Okay, I tried pentas one time about 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't. I mean, they did fine, but they didn't last long. The plants kind of declined. I don't know if it's was the operator or what. But anyway, this particular location is going to get really, really hot sun this time of year. Probably from 2 p.m. all the way till sunset. So is that going to be too much for the pentas?
I think it's worth the experiment.
Okay.
Because you're going to be close. You're going to be close to the... I've got some that in every degree of the sun and shade, and some of them really do well. What the ones that don't do well are the ones that get constant shade, or they don't get enough sun, or I don't have any that decline and die because of too much sun.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I think what happened then, thinking back, the pentas I grew before in the same container, which I moved, I think we're not getting enough morning or afternoon sun, and that probably kind of did them in long term.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
They're worth. And if you got a couple of 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 different situations, if you can try all of those situations, you'll see a difference in the performance, I think. Be careful too to water them only after they dry. Soil dries. Don't keep them soggy.
Okay, all right. Keep them on the dry side, but not bone dry.
Yeah,
don't overwater them, I guess. And that may have been an issue before too. I don't remember.
Yeah,
okay.
When you do water them so the water goes all the way through. But wait until the surface dries. It might be 2 days, it might be a week, depending on your soil and the size of your containers.
Okay, if I can't find pentas at my local gardening center, if you will, they don't have the widest selection. Do you have another recommendation that I might look for or try?
Well, what about vincas?
Yeah, because of it was 2 to 6, 2 to 7, probably, maybe 2 to 9.
Yeah.
2 to 9 now, yeah. 2 to 10 almost.
So yeah, why not? Because they love the heat, and I think
Vincas like the heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sunlight, full blast sunlight.
And they got some pretty striking colors too. Again, the red and the white are unbelievable.
I missed this in the very beginning. We were just talking about containers, right? Not in the ground.
Correct.
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yes. So, Vincas, is that the one that y'all have been talking about? Is the Cora series? Or is that
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay, Cora.
Mark calls them periwinkles.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I interchange the terms because that's what I grew up with. So, Vinca, periwinkle. Vinca.
Okay, I should be able to find one of those. Those are two pretty common. Okay, last question. My pomegranate tree, the one that I wanted as a door prize at a gardening meeting, probably pushing 10 years ago, it's got about 8 to 10 pomegranates baseball size on it. My wife keeps nagging me. Yeah, she keeps nagging me. When are they going to be ripe and ready to pick? I said, I don't know. I haven't Googled it. I said, I will call the gardening guys. So when do you know they're ready to pick? I want to get them before the birds and the critters get them, but I want to make sure I don't pick them too early.
Well, my immediate reaction was September, but I've got some. I have to admit I have not had great fruit performance. I usually enjoy them more for the flowers, but I'm with you. I got some that have fruit there, but I'm not expecting them to get ripe until September. If anybody out there in the gardeners out there has had a different experience than that, I guess we could look up too what the pomegranates. Is it did we say persimmon? No, pomegranates.
Pomegranates, yeah.
Pomegranate.
Because I had to look up persimmon about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Asian persimmon. So
yeah.
No, this is a persimmon. Pomegranate. And relatedly, no, because I do have 2 persimmons, some native, one in my front and one way in the back. And I haven't even checked to see if I mowed just around one the other day, Friday. I didn't even check to see if it had any fruit on it. Oh, okay. Those are good to eat. Are those September as well on those?
Yeah.
And are those good to eat straight off the tree?
Yep. There's hardly any fruit, though. I mean, the pit is pretty large. So you have those.
I just want to taste one.
Yeah. Those are very interesting. It could be only a week where they're ripe. So they're very astringent, very bitter when they're unripe, and then they get really, really ripe. So watch the animals. It's usually the animals will know right when they're ripest.
Which we're talking pomegranate or
No, we're talking about the native Texas persimmon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Texas persimmon. Okay.
Yeah, well, pomegranate's right? A little unpredictable too.
Yeah, that's true too.
Okay.
Because of the and I think I can just see the raccoons kind of saying, "Well, let me test this. Maybe it's ready." But you hate with them testing it when you only got 6 on the whole plant.
I can just see their little fingers just paused, testing them.
And the birds.
Okay, I appreciate the information.
And then if we will encourage somebody out there, any gardeners out there that have a experience with the pomegranates when they normally ripe, that would be good to get that information.
Yeah, and let me throw it out there in case there is a listener that grows pomegranates. This variety is called Purple Heart. It was tagged Purple Heart. Yeah, it was developed by. Yeah, it was developed because I read about it. Some horticulturist in California way back. I don't remember when, but it's supposed to be prolific, and it's doing good right now. I just want to try them.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All righty, cool. Thank you, James. Good stuff.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to go back and look and see how my Vitex is doing now and maybe trim some off when it gets a little cooler in the day. I'll tell you how it goes. All right, 210-308-8867. You had a question before we talked to James. That woman was asking you about something. Was that a question or was that a where is something?
Well, it was one of the indoor plants. that is in that looks like a succulent, and has a bloom stalk coming. And her question was that she had some more at home, and the bloom stalk very attractive but then they decline. And she says, well, can she cut those off when they start browning and everything? And I said yes, unless you wanted to try to collect the seed. But I thought it would be. And then she obviously had a lot of experience with them, because she said they generally put, just like the palm trees do with the little other
little pups.
Pups.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pups. So that the structure and the attractive foliage, and then you get this striking bloom temporarily. But so there's no real loss when you have to cut that stalk off, because you've got those attractive pups and the foliage too. So that was our discussion.
Okay, and you had one too?
A gentleman had planted a cherry laurel.
Oh,
From here.
okay.
But he had planted it, or lives in Northern Hills area. And I went, ooh, Northern Hills. That's kind of on the edge of the Blackland Prairie.
Oh.
And that cherry laurel would not like it. And so he was wondering what he could do. I said, well, maybe improve the drainage by digging some holes, 2 to 4 inch holes. And I went, well, that's kind of what we do in trees. And he go, where can I get it bid that size? And I went, oh yeah. That's a little problem. Otherwise, you'd have to take a sharpshooter and dig down in that. But the cherry laurels do best downtown, King William area, Lavaca neighborhood where I live. Lots of alluvial loam soil.
And is cherry laurel, is that a acid lover technically?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you can't see me, but I'm shaking my head here. Yeah, neutral to acidic. So that's about as neutral as we can get downtown.
Attractive foliage. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always break off the leaves and give it to everybody, because it smells like almonds, marzipan. So, it's a wonderful little tree, but it does really well. But you got to be on the right soil.
Okay.
Cool. Good information.
Yeah. All right, 210-308-8867 is out.
Oh, wow. Now look, she's her collection has gotten larger.
Yeah, what are those? The zinnias?
Lantanas.
Lantanas. Oh, that's right. All right. 210-308-8867. Let's take this opportunity to take a quick break while you give us a call, and then we'll answer your gardening question right after this. 210-308-8867. More in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Yes, sir.
I was just bopping with the bumper music.
I thought you were gasping. Okay. Yeah. All right. We got just about 15 minutes left. What do we want to make sure we cover before? What should people be doing? The 1st of June. What do you recommend people do?
It's 1st of July there.
I'm sorry, 1st of July. Thank you.
Well, we've got, and I hate to say this, we haven't seen a butterfly today.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have. I haven't
Just say
seen
it, because then they'll all show up.
Yeah. And I thought I saw a hummingbird, but they didn't hang around to get any nectar. They just flew through. But what we do have is lots of nectar sources. We've got tropical milkweed. We've got a few of the butterfly weed, which is one of the milkweeds, tuberosa. We got the porterweed, the purple porterweed, very attractive, steady bloomer. And then, of course, we've got lantanas, every kind of lantana you could think of in full bloom. Zinnias. I don't. Did you see any mist flower, Mark, when you were doing your wanderings?
No, I didn't see it today, but and I was supposed to look for it because we were looking around for it yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure. And Mary said, I asked Mary, and she said, "Yeah, it's there. It's thrown back."
So there's some of that.
There's some still around for us.
There's some really attractive these dwarf ruellias. If you're looking for a ground cover that does well in the sun or the shade, or that red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
they're all here in the ruellia.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You can use the pink as the red, and it would be an outstanding display. The white, the pink, and the red, blue.
And then, of course, the vincas are really showy back there. The reds and the whites, especially. So, still have lots. In terms of the shade plants, we still have lots of begonias. We don't have the whoppers, but we've got the. We also have the foliage plants, and I need some help on the. What are our foliage plants?
Which ones?
The ones.
We have the caladiums.
Caladiums.
Very lovely. We have some impatience, but and more foliage. I'll have to think.
Coleus.
Coleus.
Yeah, we got Coleus there too, so they're there. And then of course Mark.
That was rather large.
Yeah. Mark mentioned the summer subtropical plants.
Yes. So yes, I was definitely going to mention that. Put some color in your landscape. The bells of fire, Esperanza, the Texas Star Esperanza, the vinca, lots of vinca here, lots of purslane. What's the other? Pride of Barbados.
Yep.
And cenizo. That's my big four.
Yay.
Perennials.
And the Pride of Barbados looks great around town.
Wow.
It's
You're
very
right.
happy.
Yeah.
Crepe myrtles, poinciana.
That's another, yeah.
That's another good one.
Now, we've got a pretty good collection of crepe myrtles here. Are they on sale?
No.
Okay.
For sale.
But the thing about crepe myrtles, of course, is you get the size to fit your landscape need.
Mm-hmm.
The color of your favorite flowers, you can pick those, and then you can also get some bark characteristics and structural characteristics that you find to favor. You know, if you like that peeling bark, there's a bunch of the crepe myrtles that
the exfoliation,
really, make that. So you check it out, and I think on the website today we have. I thought we had some posted crepe myrtle characteristics. So if you want to come out and see what there is, you can look at the plants.
Oh, yeah, and then you can there's a barcode, and you just... But not a barcode, what do you... Doggone it. Okay, now I'm doing it. All right, 210-308-88.
And it wasn't even your birthday.
I know. Still time to call and wish Calvin a happy birthday, and... anyway, all right, so lantana's on sale in the number one pot. It's $6.88. Variegated flax lily, number three pot, normally $24.99, now 50% off. And, yep, so lots of great things. You go to millburgernursery.com to learn more, millburgernursery.com. And you mentioned... on your article today, what did you talk about? And then I think you said there were some good things around your article on gardening.
Yeah, if you've got some problem with nut sedge, look at that sedge hammer. Trace talked me into trying it. I find it to be a strange product because it's a little container, and you put the powder into your 1 gallon sprayer, and then you spray the sedge, even when it's big. The reason I'm confident about this is that I did it, and boy, it's worked well, and it kills 2 weeks. Mine's all yellow, and it's in my rose bed.
Okay. That's right. You were worried
and
about
it hasn't damaged the roses at all. So sedgehammer is one to look at if you've got nut sedge problems. And another one is Mark brought this up, was or maybe Milton, about all the Bermuda grass has taken over your shrub border or in your flower garden. You can use the products like Post, Fusillade, Grass Be Gone, and
Orthonex.
Ornamec. Yeah, that's
Ornamec,
that's the one I use, and that works pretty well. I like it. So that's a good option.
The nice thing about these products are it's only grass, and that's nice. So you can spray near your vegetable beds, trying to get rid of that grass or landscape.
And now these products, I don't think you can use in the vegetable garden.
Yeah, that's why I hesitated for a moment.
But
I knew you'd correct me.
I was trying to remember if there were some. I thought Trace had brought to our attention that there was one product that you could use in the vegetable garden.
So don't quote me on that, but I think it was called Over the Top.
So that if you've with the rain we've had, gosh, the weeds have really and of course the most prominent weed there is our Bermuda grass. So if you want to control it, test that Over the Top or Ornamec or these products that we've talked about. Now another thing we mentioned, I keep talking about the milkweeds, and we have quite often. Right now we've got at least 2 species here, but when you get the milkweeds, you're going to have the aphids visit you.
Yep.
But I know it's tough when you're a gardener for all these years to tolerate aphids. But in the milkweeds, you can go ahead and do it because they're generally not going to reduce your value of the milkweeds to the cause that you're trying to address, which is the butterfly. The queen or the monarch butterfly egg laying, and the using a pesticide is more of a threat than the aphids are. So just shut your eyes and the good news is that our predatory insects generally, if you can be patient with them, will generally dominate those aphids.
Yeah, we're looking at the beetles and the lacewings.
Or if you must take some action, just spray some water on there and spray off some of those aphids.
Oh, okay.
But the takes the ladybugs longer to reproduce than it does the aphids. Yeah. So expect them to be back.
But that was a good, because I received phone calls on that, or received phone calls that saw us all the time on that. What to do about the aphids? Ignore them. Boy, is that hard for some people.
Yeah, I don't think that was not the advice they wanted when they called.
Well, when you've seen this, Milton, when we've had gardeners come up here, and they say, "I've got these aphids. What do I do?" And then you say, "Just ignore them." Yeah. And then they say, "I've got these aphids. What do I do?" That's not the answer I expected.
Nope. That always reminds me of the funny Paul story, but I'll tell that later.
Now I wonder if maybe that French bulldog is a little spoiled.
Yes, I think so, a little bit.
Yeah, Mama's dog.
Take him in one of the large carts.
Yeah, we got the carts here at Millburgers, and he's riding on the top, checking everything.
And he's got a special riding blanket on there. And he's not settling down though. He's busy turning around, and because Mom is surveying all the wonderful plants, and so she's doing a lot of turning there. And so he's got to be standing up. He won't just settle down. He's kidding a bug.
All right, 210-308-8867, but we just have not too much longer, just about 5 minutes left. I want to make sure we cover everything. We've covered what's on sale, covered some of the topics in the newspaper. You'll find Calvin's article at mysa.com. That's the Express News website.
I'd say it.
And you're dropping on Friday.
Or
Yes,
if you,
yes.
I think if you go purchase a Sunday edition at your one of the little 7-Elevens or whatever it is, I think they include that Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Or at least a link to it or something.
Or no, well, it used to be, but I mean, it used to be that you would get that section as part of the Sunday paper as well.
Well,
but not on your prescription, not on your subscription, but
yes. Well, I was going to mention something about that. A lot of people come in all the time and they want what kind of shrubs or trees we can get for privacy.
Yeah.
You know, what I've seen a lot of the landscape architects do lately is build a fence and using the hog panels on that fence, maybe on double-sided.
Oh,
and then,
I wonder if
I love those hog panels.
This is my new favorite. And then you go with a vine.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Now, what that does is you get the privacy. If you can build it tall enough and sturdy enough, you get the vine on there and provide the privacy. But then you got more space than what would taken up with big shrubs. So you got a little bit more space to work with. So that's kind of my new thing is get a fence, a sturdy fence being built, metallic with some hog panels on it attached to it, and go with one of the vines that Calvin mentioned on there.
And especially if you use one of the the two vines, the butterfly vine and the crossvine. Those two are real manageable. You can, like Mark mentioned, that's a really great thing because you could get by on 1 foot wide and have that be a view blocker or just an attractive bloom situation.
A lovely pollinator.
Yeah. So that's a great idea, and those hog fences are really panels.
Yeah.
Really control the traffic, and they're sturdy.
And if you want to see some, go down to the University of the Incarnate Word along Hildebrand, and you see that some of the they have put them in. Sometimes using just plain Asiatic jasmine. That's fine.
Oh, that's neat. It climbs up on there. And
it climbs up on
does
there.
it freeze if it gets cold?
No.
Okay.
Not the Asiatic jasmine.
Okay.
And I don't know.
A little bit.
I'm thinking the big box stores have them, but the other...
What's that, the hog panels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the feed stores I know have them.
Yes.
And
so that's a great place.
Some
for
of them will cut them for you. I like to use them for tree protection.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
we
from
talked
here?
about,
The
yes,
square
we talked
or
about
the triangle.
that. Or triangle on that. They're really good. I like it. Simple 3 for a triangle, zip tie, and you're done.
Yeah, that zip tie is so much easier
or
than trying to
rebar,
use fence posts.
Yeah, rebar maybe for a little support, but you don't need a whole lot because those panels are so sturdy and so big.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, I'll have to think about that too. I wonder if something like that would have helped me with the Malabar spinach because they said it was a climber.
Yeah.
Who said it was a climber? Was that Bert?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
Well, you wouldn't have to use something as elaborate as that. Maybe just a tomato cage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to see if it'll trail down.
But also, you may have missed it. Calvin was, when he was talking about the Carolina jasmine.
Yeah.
It's a leaner.
Oh, a leaner.
Cleaner. I caught that in the newspaper article. So you have something that support it.
Oh.
But it won't necessarily support itself. You just kind of have to lean it a little bit onto the wire or wall.
Okay.
You know, and I would think that those, what did you call those little clips, the rubber?
Oh, yeah, little clips or zip ties is
Zip
what
tie.
I was.
You know,
Yeah.
if you got a few of the large ones would really hold those
Yeah,
lines
they
in
were
place.
really.
That's a
really
good
well.
idea. I like
Yeah.
that idea.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to call it quits for today. Thanks to Al for doing a great job, of course, and thanks to you for listening.